Hey everyone, Mr. Pat here, and I'm really excited for today's lesson because we'll be cooking a no-cook pasta recipe with our very own homemade green herb sauce. So like always, everyone come gather up, put in your eco spaces, thinking cap, because we are ready to dive right in and get saucy. So today is going to be awesome because by walking to the market and getting the ingredients and not driving at all, this cooking activity will be a super low carbon footprint activity. Now what does that mean? What exactly is a carbon footprint? Can anyone tell me? Say it as loud as you can so even I can hear it. Alright, I heard a few answers so far. Keep it coming, keep it coming. Perfect. I heard so many great answers from everyone, but essentially what a carbon footprint is the amount of greenhouse gases like methane or carbon dioxide that is released into the atmosphere from all of our own energy needs. Now we all know it's important to reduce, reuse, and recycle. And today we'll be reducing our fuel needs by whipping up a no-cook pasta recipe. Now we usually would depend on fossil fuels to do things like heat our homes, cook up our meals, power factories, drive our cars, power the electronics so we can play 2K. But by using more fossil fuels, we're creating a larger carbon footprint, which is the exact opposite of what we want. Now, when I say fossil fuels, what animal comes to mind? There's one specific answer that I'm looking for. So go ahead, start shouting out answers, but what is that one animal that always comes to mind when you think of fossil fuels? No, not a cheetah. Cows, no. Pigs, no. Someone said it. And you guys hear that? Yep, dinosaurs. Fossil fuels like coal, oil, and other natural gases were formed by the fossilized remains of dinosaurs and plants from millions and millions of years ago. But by using more of them, we are creating a larger carbon footprint and releasing more greenhouse gases into the air, which, like I said before, is a big no-no, and we do not want that at all. But by making small changes like walking to the market, composting our food waste, whipping up a no-cook pasta recipe, we're able to reduce our carbon emissions and in the end, help save our planet and keep it healthy. So now, let's go introduce the ingredients and start prepping everything so we can start getting this all together. Alright, so let's take a look at our ingredients. So to start off with, we're going to have about 2 cups of this fresh basil that smells amazing. And we're also going to have these zucchinis, and I'll have 3 of them. We'll also have salt, pepper, sunflower seeds, garlic cloves, we'll be using 2 of them, Parmesan cheese, some of these cherry tomatoes that we're cut in half, the juice and zest of this 1 lemon, and last but not least, some olive oil. So we'll begin with prepping our ingredients, and we'll start off with the lemon, and we'll show everyone how to properly and safely get the zest off your lemon. So with our little hand grater right here, I'm holding it with my non-dominant hand, and I'm going to put it over this little bowl. And with my dominant writing hand, I'll be holding the lemon and moving it up and down in that type of fashion, just like this. Always keep your eyes on the grater. And soon, you'll get the zest just like that. So now it's time to peel our zucchini. And as you see, I've already started, but essentially it's pretty easy. I got a little peeler here, and with your dominant hand, you just kind of want to go up and down. As you see, it's getting all that skin off perfectly. Now look at that, perfect. So now I just finished peeling up these other 2. Now it's time to chop up our garlic. So we'll be using 2 cloves, And always simply be careful with the knife. Always have parents' permission when working with a knife, but we want to take the skin off. So with the palm of my hand, fingers up, I'm gonna press down. Hear that little crack? And that's when you just take all this off. Boom. And we'll do that with the other one. Palms up, fingers away from the blade. Pop. And then get that garlic out of its skin. Put that to the side. And we'll just mince it up. So remember, when we're cutting, dominant hand with the knife. Keep the blade always away from your fingers and your body. And always keep your fingers in. So just like this. Now we'll be putting this in a blender, so we don't have to worry about it getting too fine or anything like that. We just want to make sure it's cut up so it's easier for the blender to blend. Now it's time to cut the cherry tomatoes in half. Pretty simple. We'll get a few of them. Ooh, that's too much. And just be careful with your fingers because these are a little smaller, but we'll just cut them in half. Fingers in. Boom, just like that. Perfect. Put them in this little bowl. Next step. Now we're going to measure up the Parmesan cheese, the sunflower seeds, and the salt and pepper. So for both the Parmesan and the sunflower seeds, we'll be using 3 tablespoons. Now I'm just going to pluck these leaves and put them in this little measuring cup. So now it's time to turn our zucchini into pasta noodles with this little contraption. So all I gotta do is set it in place, hold it firmly, and start spinning just like this. And if you can see on this end, we got some noodles forming. So I'll have my scissors right here to cut them every now and then. But essentially, we'll just keep going. And look, see? Look at all this pasta we got from 3 zucchinis. Now it's time to make our green herb sauce. Now it's time to combine our Parmesan cheese, our sunflower seeds, salt, pepper, olive oil, lemon zest, the juice, garlic, and the basil. We'll be combining that all with this tool called an immersion blender. Now it has a little blade down there, but essentially this is gonna mix it all up. So I'm gonna add this, all the ingredients to here. I'm actually gonna take some of that out, put that later. Put some of the garlic in here. This is best. We'll put in some of the juice. Save some for later. But all I gotta do is turn it on and we're good to go. Smelling really good so far. And we got our fresh green herb sauce. Now it's time to add all of our ingredients together. So I put maybe half of this in here so far. Throw in our fresh herb sauce. Mix it up. Add in our cherry tomatoes. Ooh, this smells good. And just top it off with a little more Parmesan cheese. Just like this, boom, boom. And let's serve this up and get to the tasting. All right, I got it all plated up and we are ready to go for the taste test. Ooh. You can't even tell that you're eating vegetables right now. Like there's no difference in the pasta. Oh, I feel so healthy right now. This is amazing. Now, little do y'all know, I'm a big basil guy. When I first started getting into gardening, the first thing I grew and made was basil, pesto sauce from basil. So this is really good. So this is the basil herb sauce is not new to me. So I knew I'd like this. Amazing. And we are all done for today's little activity. I hope everyone had a really fun time watching me whip up a no-cook pasta recipe. But before we leave, I have one question for you all, and you could just think about this at home with your parents, your guardians, your families, friends. But besides zucchini, what would you switch out for that and turn into pasta? Now the possibilities are endless. I'm sorry, I had to say it. I know that was a bad joke. But thank you everyone again for coming back out for my little lesson. And I'll see everyone next time when we do a little cooking activity on collard roll-ups.